So today we're going to learn oboe, which is a super fun instrument. So we're going to start with the hard part, which is making a noise on the reed. When you have the reed, you want to soak it in water. You want to soak it in there for like a little bit beforehand, like the first time you play it. And then like as you're playing, like throughout rehearsals and stuff, you want to like keep soaking it now and then. Which is why they have like little cup things on their stands, because it gets dried out and then it's impossible to play. So the first thing you want to do is do a crow C. So you put your lips like on this part and just like try to make a sound on it, and it should sound like a C.
Okay, right. On the blue or on the white?
Like on the blue, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty close. The reed's getting kind of old. And then that should make the same sound when you blow on the edge. So with your embouchure with the oboe, it's really hard. I didn't get a sound for like a week. But you want to think of like whistling, so like, and then you think of inward whistling, so like whistling inwards. And then you put the reed right on the tip of your lip, and so it should just be the very tip in your mouth. Yeah, so like kind of like think of like rolling it in and then like the inward whistle, like, so it should, like just the tip should be in there, and then you kind of want to push down on it and just like put a lot of air through there. Yeah, so you're getting sound, which is good. And then like you want to actually make it sound that C. Yeah, and like for me, like sometimes you have to take more or less reed in to make it sound higher. Sometimes they talk about like the 10 and 2 of your lips, like putting more pressure there. It's really hard to get to that C. Yeah. So it's kind of, and this reed's been used for like 4 weeks now, so. So yeah, that's good. So then when you're playing, you want to think of the 3 C's, so it's the crow C, the tip, and then the C on the actual instrument. So yeah, it's not like with other wind instruments where you push in and pull out if you're sharp. It's all with the reed. So then we're gonna put it together.
Should I put the reed down?
Yeah, I guess so.
Set it right here for now.
So I guess this is the foot joint. I think, yeah, foot joint, body, and the upper joint. Yeah, pretty easy names here. So this goes here. You want to make sure that the key is lined up. Mine was the only one in the class that actually had this, but I don't actually know which one this does. Yeah, so you want to make sure that it lines up so it does that. And the same thing with these ones. You just want to make sure that they're lined up with each other on both sides. I mean, if it's on one side, it should probably be on the other side. So then, I guess we'll put the reed in there. Might as well. You want to make sure that the reed is in there really tight and really far in there until you can't get it in there anymore. Yeah, okay. So then we'll try our third C. So your fingers go on like the open holes there. So first finger, second, third, and then first, second, and third. Yeah. So then the last C is just 1 and 1.
Okay. Which one should I do first?
Just the 1 and 1 C. Yeah, it's really hard. It takes a lot of pressure. Nice! It actually sounds like the right C. Yay! This is such a successful lesson already. Okay.
I've never played before in my entire life. I promise.
He's actually a professional oboe player. I'm just
right.
screwing with you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the C. So then when you're tuning or when you're maybe playing with the new reed and figuring that out, you want to do crow C, tip C, and then the actual oboe C. So the 3 C's. Yeah, okay, so then we'll learn 2 other notes. So 1 and 1 is C. If you add your second finger on the top, it's a B flat. Yeah, maybe think of putting a little bit more pressure on it. Yeah.
How did I do that?
Yeah, it might also need like taking it off and dipping it in the water again and like shaking it off can help too, because they dry out really quickly, and especially since we put Listerine on this one, it's gonna dry out even more quickly.
Okay,
that was me my entire play.
Can we try to?
Yeah.
How do I pull it out?
You just.
I don't want to break it or anything.
I mean, this is the last thing it's being used for. So just dip it in there and then kind of shake the water off of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stick it back in there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's this one and this one.
Yep.
Gotta use my diaphragm. I keep trying to breathe with my chest.
Yes. Yes. Making notes. And then the next one we'll do, so if we're doing like a B flat scale, so B flat, C, and then D is kind of a totally different note. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but the top one is going to be a half hole. So like if you look, there's like this little tiny thing here, so you want your finger to be on that one. And when you're actually playing, it's kind of more like a rolling motion to like go on and off of that. So it'll be half hole, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 on the bottom.
So it's
half hole like that, 2, and then 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3.
And is all of those down at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
That should be D, hopefully. And some of these, they're like open holes, so if you don't cover the holes all the way, it can make a weird sound.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Woohoo! 3 notes.
I'm good at oboe.
Yeah, wow, we're only at 7 minutes, and you already know 3 notes. That is so much better than I was doing. So, yeah. So the embouchure kind of changes. We don't have to learn any more notes. So the embouchure kind of changes as you go higher and lower. So with lower notes, you kind of put a little less pressure on there, because like just like with strings, like the vibrations are wider with lower notes. So then the reeds will vibrate more. They need more space for the lower notes, and the higher notes is a little more pressure. Yeah. So then I guess the last thing that we can talk about is reed care. So you have to replace your reed often, which sucks because they're really expensive. But these cases are actually not very good because they can break the tips off really easily. You can make really easy cases out of like Altoid tins, and those are better because they leave the tips not touched by anything. And then when you're done, you soak it again and shake it off, and then you want to make sure it's completely dry before you put it away or it can get like moldy.
Yeah.
Gross. So yeah, and then I guess we'll just take the instrument apart because that's part of this. So there's the reed. And then, you said you haven't played other woodwind instruments, right?
No, I've never played in my life. Strings all the way.
So, you get one of these, which are really gross. This is the thing I hate about woodwind instruments, is there's spit everywhere. So basically, like, you'll take this apart, and you'll drop this through, just to like clean the spit out. There's not really going to be anything in here because it doesn't really play for that long. But that's pretty much with like most woodwind instruments. There's some better ones. This is not very good. Yeah.
Just pull it through one time. Or
Yeah, pretty much. Bam, clean. And then the same thing with this one. I'll let you do this one. There, see how much fun oboe is?
Yeah!
It's so much fun.
I think I'm going to change my major to oboe.
Definitely. Okay, I'm going to end the video on that awesome note.